Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. I am your host, Brian Barnaby. And let's just say the boys are back in town.
She got away. Know what I say? She can't control. She don't know what to do.
She's gotta go. Bye. I know that you love this flow. We just chillin', we just villains. We just chillin', we some villains.
I love it up. Get the ammo and I stick it up. I grab shots on the top of shots. I bust the clip and I let it dip. I make it poop, make it explode. Touch your toes, hit your nose. Can you touch your toes?
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. I am your host, Brian Barnaby, and we got Grasso. What's going on, bro?
How you doing, Barnes?
Feeling good, huh?
You look happy.
I know.
I
Wow.
am feeling pretty good.
Dude,
We'll get into several reasons why, but we have an order of sequence here, of course. And our super producer, Main Magic Mike,
Hello, world from the underworld.
in the dark today.
In the dungeon.
Is that the Batcave?
And-
I'm in the back.
And of course, we'll have Tony on in a little bit to talk some baseball. And I'd just like to give a shout out to those tuning in on Optimum and Frontier, and of course, Soundview Media. And for more information on channel selection, please see the bio. But of course, we'll start in the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
So this Joel Embiid guy is pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I guess even with the torn meniscus, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I have to say so. And he leads the Sixers to a 118-102 victory over the Hawks, tying up the series at one game apiece. And like you said, I mean, on a torn meniscus, to have 40 points, 13 rebounds, and just absolutely dominate. And like I was saying to you before the show, I mean, I've always respected him, but this just takes it up another level, because usually when we would have this type of injury, he's not playing. But obviously it's the playoffs, so he's giving it a go, and that just really adds to his overall, I don't know, I guess legacy. Obviously, a lot still is to be written, but just doing something like this, I mean, that's always going to help you in the long run.
Yeah, and if you watch him play, he doesn't look hurt at all. I mean,
No.
he's just Clint Capella gets in front of him and tries to guard him, and B's just like, boink, like, get out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dunk on you.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy for him last night. And then, you got a huge night from Seth Curry.
Oh,
They need that. The Sixers need that third guy because, what was Ben Simmons' stat line? 35 minutes, 4 points, 2 or 3 from the field.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he's
he
not going to do
he played good defense,
He
though.
played good. He didn't guard Trae Young most of the game.
But, and it's like he wasn't a good.
He did play good.
He wasn't a first overall pick to play.
Yeah.
Average 4 points.
True, you're right.
Yeah, you're not an all-star to score 4 points a game. This
Yeah.
is, Draymond Green was better than that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But honestly, and I love good stories. How about Seth Curry? Just kind of the career he's carved out, undrafted. Started his college career at Liberty, transfers to Duke, to kind of get some more exposure, but still doesn't end up get drafted. Is in the G League a lot. And it's funny too. The Warriors had their first crack at him. Imagine if they had hung on to him. How nice to have, Thompson when he's healthy, and then him off the bench to sub in for Steph.
This the Splash Brothers would be that would be a Splash family.
Yeah.
I mean, Seth Curry, gotta respect him. I mean, it kind of speaks to how the NBA is going. If you could shoot, there's a place for you in the league, and he could shoot. But last night and in game one and even the first series, a lot of mid-range stuff from Seth and getting to the hoop, and his game's kind of rounding out more as he matures in his career, and he does a lot for this team.
I mean, is it? Maybe I'm just because I just have always liked him. Maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but maybe a couple years down the line, I mean, could he possibly get $100 million contract, or is that just getting too carried away?
Curry?
Yeah.
If he was a legitimate point guard who played defense, yes, but he's not a legitimate point guard, and he's kind of a mismatch on defense with his size. So just because of that, no, but. I mean, he'll have comfortable contracts.
60 million, which would be a ton for an undrafted.
Dude, Tim Hardaway got one, so why can't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Curry right now is on like a 3-year, 30-something million.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's making decent money.
It was funny. Sorry, Barnes. It was funny last night. Like it was kind of a close game when Grosso and I were watching it, and Seth gets a swing into the corner and he pump fakes, makes a nice move, goes baseline, tries to go up on the right side, and I was like, "That's why he gets blocked." I was like, "That's why he's Seth and not Steph." Steph would have gone reverse. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, he's been big, and Harris is solid. 22.
That was my guy.
Shake getting hot late, huh? 4 of 5 from 3, 14 points.
I don't even think he played in game 1, or maybe played a minute.
Yeah,
because he struggled the closing games of the season. So Doc kind of took him out of the rotation, put him back in because he's a sniper. Shake, he could score. Doc knows because Shake's career high was 39 points on the Clippers last year. But yeah, there was a stretch of like 5 to 8 minutes or so where Shake Milton was the best player on the court.
Yeah,
he had 14 points just in that little stretch, the end of third quarter into the fourth quarter, and they actually Philly benched Ben Simmons at the fourth quarter. They brought Shake Milton back in.
Yeah.
I was so happy when I saw that.
And I think that's what's great about the NBA playoffs, because in the regular season, you're not so much into every minute of every game, but you see these guys that they're not big names, but just have these games, and that just almost makes their career having moments like that.
Oh yeah,
it makes them get paid. Like you saw Bryn Forbes with the Bucks.
Yeah,
what was the
first round?
I can't remember his name right now, but what was the Knicks when
Matthew, how are you?
Yeah, Matt, what up, dude? When Seattle Supersonics went on a run they went like to the second round. I wouldn't even call it a run. And they had a big man, I forgot his name, and the Knicks signed him to
Jerome James.
Jerome James, dude. Oh my!
Did he even play
with the Knicks? No,
he was basically Eddie Curry,
dude. He was 2.0.
Yeah,
bootleg Eddie Curry.
And then just some other stuff that stood out here. I mean, I thought it was impressive. The Sixers win by 16, but shoot 63% from the free throw line. On 22 attempts. So to be able to make up for that, I think that's big, because that can hurt you in a close game.
Oh yeah,
and only 0 for 2 from Simmons, so it wasn't all on him.
You can't blame it on him.
I mean, Embiid actually missed a few. He was 12 of 16 from the free throw line, which is still 75
for a center too.
Right?
I mean, you're not really going to complain about that.
No, but you expect Embiid. Embiid shoots close to 90% from the line, which is one of the probably the best parts about him being a big man, so physical. He shoots great from the free throw line. Yeah, he missed a few last night, but.
And then, this game, had some swings, especially how, you had the Hawks go on a run in the third quarter, lead by 1 and then get outscored by 18 to finish out the game. Trey couldn't finish this one. He's had some good performances, didn't get it done.
No,
here.
Trey, they locked him down. Matisse Thybulle played great defense on him, and Danny Green got him a little bit, Ben Simmons a little bit too. Sixers have a lot of active hands.
Yeah, the rotations are crazy.
Yeah, and when Trey gets inside, people are reaching for the ball. They're swiping at him. They're doing everything. Philly is active on defense. So, I mean, I think Trey's going to have a great series, but last night he struggled a little bit.
And Matthew is saying Barnes is in a way better mood today. We'll get to that. But there is something basketball related that we're about to get to. That's
I love how Matt just jumps on every single platform. I know. He starts on YouTube, then goes to Facebook.
But just closing this out, we will have Game 3 Friday, State Farm Arena in Atlanta, 7:30 ESPN. So here's your chance for Atlanta. After kind of getting dominated down the stretch here, to either get back in this series or kind of have their backs against the wall and be down 2-1.
Yeah, and I think Mike agrees with me on this one, but I think it's a gentleman's sweep. I think Philly's winning.
Yeah.
Now.
I do too, especially with Joel and the way he looks.
Yeah.
We were just concerned with that. Now that he looks normal. I mean, it's over.
Yeah, right. Philly's clearly a better team. The only thing that scares me is Atlanta does have a lot of offensive firepower. So they like last night, they got on some runs. They brought the game close. They even got ahead at one point. So they could definitely get another game. But I just think Philly's better.
Yeah. And, they've been strong all season.
Yeah. Also, we were talking about it a little bit last night. Remember when Toby, comes out, makes 16 points in the first, takes him out, and we were talking about. I was like, why isn't Doc just
go with his hot guys.
I know,
And
he
you're
pulled
like,
him out of like the 5.5 minute mark in
Yeah.
the first quarter. Like Tobias Harris can't play a full quarter.
yeah,
Like,
I
are you
know.
serious?
Like, if he
He's like
can't.
28 years old or something.
If he can't, then he should not be in the playoffs
I
playing
know.
in
It's
the
like, what are
league.
you doing? They stick to these rotations.
Yeah.
And I have to say too, I definitely want the Sixers, to win this series because I think, let's say the Nets do what it looks like they're going to do and win their series with the Bucks. I think,
Yeah,
there's no one that the Hawks trying to play the Nets.
No.
They're going to average margin of victory will be 25 points.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, Philly gets through, which we think they will, and the Nets, that's.
And you guys are huge on Brooklyn, but you have to admit.
I said Philly. I said Philly to win.
You can't just give it to the Nets.
I'm not.
Against the Sixers. No.
Yeah, my biggest thing is guard play. Ben Simmons
Yeah.
got to score, and
Yeah.
until he learns how to shoot, I don't see them winning a championship. And I think Brooklyn's
Dude, he's
better.
just saving
Yeah.
it for the next round.
Oh yeah,
And speaking of saving it, the
saving it for the
Clippers.
big three.
The Clippers fall 112-109, game one to the Jazz. So the Jazz take the 1-0 lead. Mitchell, 45 points, including 32 in the second. So rebounding after a slow start. You did get 18 from Bogdanovich and Clarkson. And how about Mr. 200 mil, Gobert blocking the potential game-tying shot by Marcus Morris with a second left.
All right, well.
That was a big play. And I think the whole thing with him is, listen, I think we all are in agreement here. It's not that he is an awful player. He's just not worth $200 million.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
But,
yeah,
but
of
for
course.
his role, he's great at being a defensive stopper. down
But
low.
like you said,
he's worth $100 million.
yeah. That's the only problem.
It's no fault to his own. Like
Right.
when you win
Yeah.
Defensive Player of the Year, you're eligible for a supermax, and he didn't
Yeah.
even take the full thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rudy Gobert is a great player.
Yeah.
It's
He
just
just-
$200 million.
He can't play
it's like
offense.
we can't hate on him. I
Yeah.
mean, we would sign on the dotted line for
hell yeah.
200. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Oh, dude. No, please. I need 100. I'm only worth 100.
Yeah, right.
But
Speaking of that last play, though, that was like one of the best defensive possessions I've seen
Mhm.
all year long because the Clippers got it going like exactly how they wanted. First initial dribble handoff to Kawhi, another one with Paul George, a little pick and roll, kind of pick and pop action those two ran. And it was like Bojan Bogdanovich, and those guys were just pressing up.
yeah.
Kawhi had to throw it to the corner to Morris, and Gobert's there. So.
I have to say with Bogdanovich, because being, watching the Yankees games, and yes, sometimes the Nets would be on after or whatever. I really miss, he used to be on the Nets like a while ago.
Yeah.
I an Eagle. Oh my, every second, Bogdanovich. Like, the way he said it was just so funny. And I don't know. I always think of that with him.
He had a nice game last night, too. Bogdanovich. He's a
he
good
did.
player.
He is.
And you want to talk about resilience here. I mean, they trailed by 13 points at halftime. They missed 20 consecutive shots at one point.
Jesus.
Wow. Who was that? The Jazz?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I was sleeping.
Yeah, me too.
So to come back from that and against a Clipper team, with Leonard and George, and they had decent games, 23-7 for Kawhi, 20 points, 10 rebounds for Paul George, and even Luke Kennard, who's kind of been in the doghouse, 18 points, 4 of 6 from 3-point range. But they get outscored by 16 in the second half, and we've seen with this with them before. They just have these random stretches where they just collapse.
Yeah.
The Clippers, they need really good games out of both Kawhi and Paul George to win, really. And Paul George, he had 20 points, but it was kind of inefficient last night.
Right.
He hit a big 3 towards the end, but I mean,
I'm not
Donovan
worried.
Mitchell was an absolute superstar last night, and I think he's probably the most underrated young guy. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I think real basketball fans know how good he is, but to the average fan, because he plays in Utah and no one really cares about Utah, even though it's the 1 seed in the West. But people are starting to see Donovan Mitchell now. Like, he's a superstar.
Yeah, it sucked he got hurt for that last stretch of the season because,
I know.
there would have been a little bit more noise with the Jazz right now
Yeah.
leading up to this.
And there's been talk, maybe eventually he'll want to get out of there, but just kind of seeing the way he is, I could see him kind of almost like, in a sense, wanting to finish what Stockton and Malone couldn't do. Finally bring a championship,
Yeah, there's no Jordan in the league right now, so
Yeah,
I mean,
you just don't want to hit what's happening to Damian Lillard to happen to him.
Yes.
It's just
Right.
fighting every single
but I
year.
mean, I
Like,
think the last couple of years, the Jazz have had a better group
Yes.
around him.
Yes.
So at least they're doing their part.
and I think the Jazz right now with Donovan have been progressing as a team better each year than Portland has been his Dame's whole career.
Yeah, the role players on Utah are just
Way
so
better.
much better than Portland.
Yeah.
They could start on Portland.
All
Yeah.
of them would.
Georges Niang would get $100 million from Portland.
Yeah.
So we will get game 2 Thursday, of course, at 10.
I know. I
on
will do.
ESPN.
What is up with?
We're literally just going to live on highlights for this.
I know, dude.
I
And
know.
it's a shame, but hopefully the Western Conference Finals, they don't start at 10 o'clock.
They better not.
Well,
Like,
tonight the game's at 9:30.
wow.
Yeah, so I guess that even
We
if
got
it's
a
on
little.
the
I'm gonna
West
stay up.
Coast, they move it up if it's a standalone. So
Well, I think it's in Denver too. They're like an hour.
no, Phoenix still.
Oh.
Yeah, because 2.
Phoenix,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see. If the Clippers can rebound from this.
I mean,
on
dude.
Thursday.
Yeah, I think they're going to. I honestly
You
think this.
still got them in 7.
Yeah. I just, star power, and if they got 2, they got 1.
Yeah.
I know they're a better team,
Yeah,
but we've seen the Clippers now in that last series. Like, if they want to turn up, they could turn up. So
I'm almost surprised though, just based on your kind of thoughts about Paul George.
I know, but you know what? I have a feeling like, and he hasn't played that bad in the
Yeah.
playoffs this year.
He
Actually,
hasn't at all.
he's actually been doing kind of what he needs to do. But I have a feeling he's gonna do well this series, and the Clippers are just gonna edge him out. And then next year, I think we're gonna see a freaking loaded Jazz team, like 60+ win season.
And do you guys think they can get top free agents, or it's always gonna have to be a trade in mid-level free agents?
Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah, no one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, no one.
See,
is
so you got to draft.
how they
well,
got Mike Conley is beyond me.
Well, yeah,
Well, I mean,
they
they
wouldn't
have
have.
a no trade clause. That's why. I mean,
Oh, well, that was a trade.
yeah, it was a trade.
Yeah. And
Other-
plus, it was at the
Gotta
end of his
make
career
trades.
too. You're not going to see Mike Conley in his prime.
I guess though, I don't know the player, but just a general sense of a guy who's kind of not quite worth a max, but wants the max, and then they're the only ones to give it. That's kind of the only type of player.
Yeah.
It's not like
Oh,
they would
yeah,
get
yeah.
Giannis signing there.
No.
It was kind of like Gordon Hayward signing with Charlotte this year. Like no one else was going to give him 4
Right.
years, 120
Yeah.
million.
Right. Exactly.
And players, no matter what they say, they're going to take the money.
Oh, of course.
You know?
Of course.
Unless
but-
you're James Harden.
But we've seen it in certain situations
enough.
where they
Yeah, he doesn't need it.
like of course you're always going to take the money, and it's not so much. I feel like there's so much more fluctuation in other sports than basketball, because like the way there's maximum stuff, and like baseball, for instance, like one that stands out, and of course like steroids have ended up derailing his career at the end, but like one guy that stands out to me is Robinson Cano. He loved New York, so happy about it, chases the money in Seattle, and you could just tell he was miserable. You know what I mean? And it's like, and he didn't perform as well. And it's like, if you have a system that works well for you, I think, sometimes you gotta think about stuff like that, because you're going to end up making more money in the long run by having more success.
Yeah, and you could say the same thing happened just this past year with James Harden. The Rockets offered him a 2-year extension worth like $110 million.
Yeah.
Like no one in their right mind would reject that.
Right.
But Harden did, because he knew he was going to be miserable in Houston, and he's got money coming in from endorsements, and
Yeah,
obviously he's going to get paid. He's James Harden. So
exactly. So just kind of interesting. And we did mention tonight, we do get a standalone Nuggets at Suns, 9:30 TNT. Suns coming off the victory in game 1. So they have obviously a 1-0 lead here. And I think, 2 questions really stand out to me. Number one, can Jokic and the rest of the Nuggets, bounce back from game 1? And is there a better plan to contain Chris Paul and Devin Booker?
Well, that's the thing. You look at these teams, and it's just the guard play for the Suns is just, it's night and day compared to Denver. Like Chris Paul and Devin Booker versus, I don't even know how to say his name, Fuko Campazzo
Yeah.
and Austin Rivers.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's the series right there. If it was Jamal Murray and Will Barton, I think we'd have a 7-game series, and I would probably be picking the Nuggets. But I mean, there's just Chris Paul and Devin Booker are just so much better than anything that the Nuggets can throw out.
And would you say for them to win, like the rest of the series, Jokic and Porter combined each game need to average at least 50, if not 60?
Combined, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was my second thing. Like, is Michael Porter Jr. ready to be the number 2 guy?
Right.
Because we know Jokic is great,
Mhm.
and we know he's going to give you – I know he didn't have an amazing first game, but, I mean, you expect him to bounce back. He'll probably average over 30 for the series. Ayton's tough. Like, he's not going to give Jokic anything easy, but is Michael Porter Jr. going to be that second option that you could rely on? Is Aaron Gordon going to give you some big numbers? Maybe. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's what the Nuggets need.
And the biggest problem is they have guys like Morris and Rivers that on a given night can give you 20 and 10, but they're not going to do that every night. And I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, they're not Jamal Murray. So
yeah, it's a shame though, because I mean the Nuggets they've built this team right. And then how about we didn't even mention this Jokic getting named the MVP. I mean we figured that was the case, but first second round pick ever to win the MVP.
Wow, I did not know that. And that's first big man since Shaq.
Yeah. So what was that? Almost 20 years ago?
2000 to 2003 range, probably.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to give it to Jokic. And just that's why. And I get it because, if you can get guys that'll help your team, but teams are just too easily giving up these second-round picks. And I know that the percentages are low, but the percentage is the lowest possible, 0 if you don't even make the pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan of trading picks for players, but it's got to be, like the Bucks going to get PJ Tucker, like maybe giving up a second round pick. PJ Tucker's going to help you this season. Could be a game changer kind of thing. But if you're just throwing around second round picks for nothing, I mean.
No, but there's teams I feel like that go 10 straight years without making a second round pick.
Yeah, there's teams that sell them for cash.
Yeah.
They're like traded, like the Golden State Warriors got a pick for like a couple $100,000. And I forget who they drafted, but it ended up being like a player. Yeah. Like someone who was in the rotation.
And I know that the Lakers paid for Horton Tucker too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So,
but just kind of interesting. And I just wonder, I don't know if it's too crazy, but do you think ever, just one time, we'll have an undrafted MVP?
Hey, we have Jokic from the second round. Why not?
We're working our way down.
Why not? We're getting there. And especially now, like the global reach that NBA has on the whole world. Like we saw the Basketball in Africa League start up this year. I think we're going to see some random guys that no one would have ever thought about, whether they're from Africa or who knows, Slovenia or somewhere. That just, went under the radar. And then next thing you know, they're in the NBA and they're dominant.
Yeah.
Like I could see something like that happening.
And I think too, either internationally or there's a guy who going into college or if he was going to go out of high school, highly touted, but then there's either some big injury, some off the field thing. So then he goes undrafted. That's kind of how I could see that happen.
Imagine if Steph Curry tore his ACL back-to-back years at Davidson.
Yeah.
And he probably wouldn't have got drafted.
Yeah. Or if Seth, somehow finds his way to Madison Square Garden and averages 40 a game. Yeah. You never know. You never know. But
Seth, not Steph.
What's the deal in terms of I know we keep going back to this, but is he going to be a free agent again or he still has 1 year?
Seth?
Yeah.
He's locked up for at least another year. I think
this was on his Mavericks contract, right? Because they traded for him.
Yeah, okay. The Mavericks contract was a 4-year deal, I think.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that.
It was 3 or 4.
So yeah.
About 10, 12.
I don't know. I don't know, Mike. I just have this vision. I just feel like he's meant to play for the Knicks. I swear to God.
I mean,
no, he's meant to play for the Philadelphia 76ers. Don't take him from me.
It's funny because we were going to draft Steph and we got Ronaldo Balkman.
No, but that
even cheaper.
No.
4 year, $32 million.
No, it wasn't Ronaldo Bachman. It was Jordan Hill. They looked the same type of player.
Didn't take long for Jordan Hill to get out of the league.
Dude, I mean, at least he lasted longer than Ronaldo.
No. And it's funny because we were talking about that Jalen Rose video over the weekend.
Yeah.
I think Stephen A. Do you remember his reaction to when they drafted him? I think he was on the coverage for Balkman.
Oh, God.
He literally did one of his Ronaldo Balkman. His eyes are going like this. Yeah. It was so funny. Oh, God. But honestly, though, the Jalen Rose, Stephen A., would you guys say top 5 funniest clips
ever?
But
for on live television, yes.
I feel like Jalen Rose was agreeing with everything Stephen Smith had to say, or Stephen Smith had to say, but he couldn't agree with them at that point, so he had to kind of defend Kwame Brown.
It's so funny. Me and Matt.
Well, I understood what Jalen Rose was saying.
Yeah,
though,
I
too.
got it.
Yo, yeah. Because like saying Rasha and Kwame.
Yeah.
But me and Matt literally could recite that whole thing word for word. I swear to God, we watched it that many times. I don't know. It was just great. So.
Jalen was saying like Kwame's not a bum compared to guys like Jerome James and Jordan Hill.
Yeah.
But honestly, my favorite part of that whole segment was when Jalen called Skip Bayless Water Pistol Pete.
Yeah.
High school career.
Yeah.
Skip is such trash.
I
He's
know.
Such a loser. Dude. He deserved that.
I know. I hate when Skip always goes on rants about it. Like it's
God.
like my freshman year. It's like, dude, you didn't even get to your senior year.
No, and I just feel like honestly, he's a fraud because he's paid to have ridiculous takes. But it's like I'm not trying to watch someone acting. I'm watching a sports show.
Stephen A. Smith's little guinea pig.
Well, they're not together anymore. Yeah,
but I feel like at least maybe not all the time, but at least Stephen A. offers some real perspective.
Yeah,
Skip is 100% fake.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And that's what I just can't stand.
I feel like Stephen A. Smith gets to say whatever he wants, and then Skip's got to argue.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's how they work.
But so glad that I don't have to watch that anymore.
I know.
Curry locked down for 2 more years.
Okay.
2 more years. 22-23 season.
Wow, very reasonable.
Average $8 million a year. Yeah, it was a 4-year, $32
That's
million.
a heck of a deal. So, we were just talking, Nuggets, Suns here. Who you got? I mean, I'm guessing I know what you got, but I'll just ask you anyway.
I got Phoenix. I think they're probably going to win the series in 5.
Okay. What do you think, Mike?
I want to say Denver, but I just don't know. I just miss Jamal Murray for them. If he was here, it'd be different.
That's what I said when you stepped out. Like Chris Paul and Devin Booker versus Fuko, Campazzo, and Austin Rivers.
And yeah, exactly.
That's the series.
Yeah, and who's their back? They're starting 2 that's not playing either.
Will Barton.
Will Barton. Yeah,
Will Barton, who's a good player.
Yeah, he's a great player. I mean, it's like it's too tough, dude. And
if they were there, it'd be different.
Chris Paul's healthy. Looks like so. It's over.
So I'm gonna
play
say,
Bol.
I think Bol should play.
Save the series.
But I'm gonna go Nuggets here, even though it doesn't point to it. But Jokic is so
just
good.
got the MVP.
Yeah, just got the MVP, and I think you might see either Rivers or Campazzo or Morris have one of those games that'll save it for them. So that's what they need, and we'll see if they get it. So like we said, 9:30 TNT. We will tune into that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game.
Excited to watch it. So I'll have it on my other screen with my New York Yankees, which we will get to. But we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna get Tony here to talk some baseball.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She got away. You know what I'm saying? She can't control. She don't know what to do.
She's gotta go. Bye. I know that you love this flow. We just chillin', we just villains. We just chillin', we some villains.
I love it up. Get the ammo and I stick it up. I grab a shot on the top of shots. I bust the clip and I let it dip. I make it poop, make it explode. Touch your toes, hit your nose. Can you touch your toes? Simon telling you what to do. Follow my commando, hit in the bando, trap in the bando, not like a Rambo. Rocky, Sylvester, Solo. I'm telling you, I get this.
We got Tony here. What is up,
dude? Just hanging out on this beautiful Wednesday, enjoying it, sunny.
Yeah. Did you enjoy your night last night?
No.
Oh, okay. But
not even a little bit.
We'll get to it. We're at the stadium, so that kind of, but like I said, we'll get to it. And of course, Tony's here. We're talking about the world of Major League Baseball.
Giving chases Judge, and he dives into the stand.
DeGrom begins the season with an overpowering strikeout of Ronald Acuna.
The wall is gone! 3-run home run! What's going on here? I love it. He drives one to the moon. High, deep, and very gone.
Get off your phone, dude.
No. The reason I actually brought it up, I swear to God, and you can look, I have the Yankees summary here. I want to show you this video because I feel like you didn't see it, but I need to get to it first. So that's why I was pulling up, just so the audience knows. But we did have the Yankees, 8 runs. They have scored 8 runs for the first time this season. 8-4. And we did get a solid but not spectacular outing out of Montgomery. 5 2/3, 8 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 6 Ks. Gets the no decision and has it now a 3.99 ERA this season. Looking at this as a whole, you look at it, 8 runs, 14 hits. I mean, the way the Red Sox series went, I mean, obviously you sign up for that every day. Gary Sanchez looks like he's really tuning in. I know when the game started, they were showing, I think it was his last 6 or 7 games, he was hitting almost 400, hitting a lot of balls hard. He went 2 for 5, homered in the 9th. So that was his 7th home run of the year. We saw DJ LeMahieu lead off the game, almost homered, just missed. You know how like they have the tall wall right field there, just missed a homer. But of course, I was thinking, oh my God, here we go again, because he doubles. They don't get him in, and then they give up 2 runs in the first, in the bottom of the first inning. So I was thinking that, but they did rebound. We did get Torres and Stanton both going 2 for 5. We got Andujar going 2 for 5 and homering. So that was all good and well. But I still, I don't mean to sound too greedy, because obviously I haven't had much to work with.
Right.
But I mean, you have 14 hits, you leave 23 on base, and you go 2 for 15 and runners in scoring position. This seems like a game they should have scored almost 12, 13, 14 runs. No?
I think you're getting a little greedy, Barnes.
But would you say?
No, you're totally right. Yes. No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, the whole team was hitting, but I mean, the first 4 innings, they didn't score any runs.
Yeah.
They left so many on base. It's like, come on, dude.
Right, because you're going to need to hit in those situations down the stretch if you want to go anywhere.
Of course. I mean, we talked about Minnesota yesterday. Their bullpen isn't very good, right? So they got past Pineda, and they hit up their bullpen pretty hard. They scored 5 runs in the last 2 innings, right? So, I mean, granted, they really put it away in the end, which is great, but you do want to see them produce some better offense earlier in the game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's just funny, looking at the ways they scored. So they scored on a walk, a wild pitch, a sac fly, and 2 fielders' choices, and then had the home runs in the 9th inning. And what I wanted to show you here, you just have to see this. So Brett Gardner was up. He flies out. I swear, I kid you not, halfway between the infield dirt and the wall. So I mean, this is a very shallow ball. Gary Sanchez is on third base. He tags up. I mean, you have to look at this. Or they're gonna show it here. Well, of course we get some lag, but just
all right. Don't worry.
Just
stay
this
patient.
is the most insane thing. Gary, and it's just funny because it's like
it's loading.
Yeah, of course it'll look okay.
We got it. Okay.
But just tell me this isn't completely ridiculous, especially with Sanchez on third. How shallow this ball is, and then he cuts it off. Look at him cut this off.
Oh no, dude!
He definitely would have been toast. Dude.
Yeah,
that throw was right on.
What? How, dude? Like, why would he even run? Is the third base coach still like their backup third base coach?
Yeah, I don't. I guess Nevin. They just have him on the bench. They switched because he's probably still recovering.
I mean, he sent him, dude.
But you know why he sent him? It's because it's so hard for them to score runs. They're like, well, we got to just do crazy things.
Let's do it, bro.
We had Gardy lay down a bunt, which is like, that's probably the best thing he can do every time he's up. I swear to God, he's trying to bump for a hit, try to get runners over, because hitting
not doing anything else.
Happening. Yeah. So that was just crazy. So I think all in all, I'm happy, but I still want more. But I just like the fact that I did see a lot of contact, not a lot of strikeouts, and I just want to see. I just don't want to see 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position.
Right. But I'll tip my hat to you, man. I mean, you said 8 runs. They got 8 runs, Yeah. Maybe you should have said 15 instead.
Yeah. But I am excited, especially because, I mean, it's such a seesaw with Sanchez. And it's just like, I mean, if he really gets it going, and I think, like I had said yesterday, that LeMahieu, I mean, is bound to just hit a little better. Maybe not be an MVP, but like just be solid. That's why I feel like, there's a lot of room to work with it. And one thing I'd like to see, I mean, just play Clinton center. I mean, there's no reason to not start him. And I understand he struggled, but you're telling me the hit potential with him versus Gardner isn't through the chart,
Even the defensive potential, honestly, just all around. Like, why Gardner? I feel like we say that every episode.
Yeah, and that's why, and we've talked about this before, I like Tyler Wade because last night, too, they had the infield in, Wade's on third base, and he grounds it. I mean, the guy's literally a quarter of the way in the grass, and he scored on a ground ball, like a hard hit ground ball, because he's that fast. The throw is bad, but it's like that's so useful. And obviously, I mean, at this point, he's so much faster than Gardner. So if you're gonna have a light hitting guy that relies on speed, have Wade there, not Gardner.
No, we're gonna have Gardner there though.
yeah.
Uncle Richie, where are you?
Got a heart.
yeah.
So I'm hoping this is a building block, and it was nice to get to Pineda a little bit, before they took him out. And it was funny, they showed his neck from the Pine Tar game.
You remember
that
dude?
whole
Yeah,
thing,
of course.
And the funniest thing I noticed from there, so first of all, the Pine Tar is literally covers his whole neck. I mean, it's the most obvious thing ever. And you look at him, and not to rip on him, but it's just insane how much bigger he is now versus then. Easily, this is 4 years ago, probably put on 60.
Who?
Pineda. The Pine Tar event hit him pretty hard, man.
Yeah. And then also, it's funny too. He used to wear his hat. I don't know if you remember, all the way to the side. Now it's not as much, but just was funny to see. And a guy that I had high hopes for way back when. He just has never lived up to it. So tonight, we get 8-10 on Yes. Cole versus.
Speaking of Pine Tar,
and we haven't really got to talk about.
Did you hear his response?
His answer to that?
He sounds guilty.
Yeah, but the whole thing is the whole league is guilty. Okay. But he botched the response.
No, yeah.
Let's get that straight.
Dude,
He was like,
come on, bro. Like, you would think that was addressed before he went out there.
Like, they're going to ask you these questions.
This is what you say. They're going to ask you this question about illegal substances. Like, this is what you're going to say.
On his words.
And literally, he was just like,
I can't.
Well, there's traditions passed down
through generations.
Some I don't agree with, and I've been very vocal about that. I don't really understand the question.
No, I was listening to Carton and Roberts. They counted it out until someone answered. It was 8 seconds.
Wow,
they had brutal, dude.
It kind of reminded me of when they asked Adam Silver about having the All-Star game this year, like if it made sense with the Myers. But that being said, of course, botch response. But the whole thing is, I think some Yankee haters out there are saying, "Oh, Cole now he's not going to be that good." Leave that in the trash, please. Obviously, of course, it helps everybody, but. I mean, the stuff is there for him. So if it's a little harder to grip it, so be it. He's going to be fine. And I think it starts tonight. I think he honestly is going to go 7 shutout innings, strike out 12. And honestly, Donaldson might look out. He might get one up and in, I think.
Wow. You
think
because he was
the one that was saying
bad-mouthing Cole about it. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I mean,
I would do it.
I think Cole gets a little banged up tonight, dude. I mean, the last time his last outing was against the Rays, right? And that's when they just started talking about the whole Eagle substance.
He only gave up 5 runs.
Give up season high 5 runs, dude.
It's all right. It happens. DeGrom's given up 5 runs.
I don't think he has.
Not this year, but he's given up like 4.
Maybe in high school.
No.
No. But
in high school, he was a shortstop.
I'm confident in him
he
for
was.
sure.
I know.
You know what's funny? I don't know
I
if you've heard of this guy. He played third base last night, and he actually plays every position, including catcher on the field. It's like Williams Astudillo. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
No.
But he's literally, I'm trying to he's basically what you would expect, but like on even the bigger side. Basically, who is it? Wilson Ramos?
Yeah.
But playing third base, playing left field, playing shortstop. He was playing third base. Pablo Sandoval, honestly. That type of body. And he literally jumped up and snared a liner. And it's like, how does this guy do this?
He's an all-around athlete.
It gives hope to all of us out there, right? But I just thought that was interesting. But let's keep it going tonight. I mean, Dobnik, 6 ERA. I mean, this is a get-right series. It was supposed to be actually all the way back in Detroit. So it's like, you got to do it now. You really do with Jay Happ on the hill tomorrow, too, for the Twins.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Come on. I mean, they got to bang them up. I mean, you saw them get a lot of hits last night, right? They got to keep it going, dude.
And hitting the ball hard. That's what I like to see. Not a lot of strikeouts. It seems like Stanton's coming out of it. And
what is that?
He said he would have had the hang glide today. Matthew, you're all right. Stay on the ground.
Oh, if they lost.
Yeah. And just
stay on the ground.
One other thing, Tony, before we switch gears here, because he kind of started last night. He had 2 hits. get it. Is there any type of reason with Stanton how he could go from just so bad to so good? Like I just don't get it.
I don't know. I think at this point, it doesn't seem like he's making many adjustments. It's really kind of based on who's pitching against him, I guess, right? So, I mean, you saw, we talked about Pineda and Minnesota's bullpen, and they made a lot of mistakes last night, and you can see Stanton capitalize on mistakes. He does see the ball coming at him, but I think just him physically adjusting his swing is his issue. That's why you see him so up and down, I guess.
Yeah, because
he's always looking. It seems like he's always looking for the big hit, a hard swing and a hard hit ball. And a lot of the time you see him swing and miss and strike out, So, but until a pitcher makes a mistake, I guess is when he gets a hit,
But, and they were kind of talking about it on the broadcast last night. I mean, do you think it's really just a confidence thing? Like, it doesn't matter who he has coming up. No matter who throws the pitch, if he hits a bomb the next week straight, doesn't matter who's on the hill, he's so confident that he did that the night before that propels him. I mean, is that like...
I'm sure that's in his head that if he does make contact, it's going to go yard. Yeah. And because of that, everyone's going to, it's always like a bomb too. Right. It's always like a ridiculous, like 450 feet, like bomb, dude.
Like in our intro when it way gone.
And everyone's talking about it. So yeah, I could definitely see that's in his head.
Number 2 for the coffees. That's our mean average, Matt. Just so you know.
I thought it was number 3, dude. No. He came in hot today, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. I've been waiting for this, and it's like it's funny too because I was watching the game, at home, and my friend, I was saying, like, because they're scoring on the wild pitch, they're scoring on the pass ball. I was like, this is literally their offense. This is what they do, and then they really responded. So I was just pleasantly surprised, and I'm going to take it from here. I'm going to run with it, and I'm going to try to be positive going forward. But you got to follow it up tonight, don't you think? Honestly, Tony, promise we'll move on after this. No excuses that tonight you don't take care of business.
Oh, honestly. Yeah, dude. Honestly, no excuses, especially with Cole. I mean, like I did say, I do think he's going to get a little banged up, but he specifically has a lot to prove,
right?
Especially now. So, I mean, this is it, dude. Like, it's 12 runs, dude. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
No, seriously, let's go. So like I said, that will be 8-10 on Yes. Looking forward to watching that. And to your dismay, we do switch gears here.
I think I'm gonna take a little break.
The Baltimore Orioles 10-3 over the New York Metropolitans.
The double stuff.
David Peterson, 2 2/3.
Don't laugh at Tony.
8 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. 6.32 ERA this season after a great start. I'm going to leave it out there for you, Tony. I mean, what makes sense of this, please?
Please make sense of it.
No, dude. There is no sense when it comes to when it comes to Peterson, dude. At this point, bro, get him out, dude. Get him out. It's like his last 5 starts were absolute trash. It's his second absolute clunker in a row. I mean, dude, first of all right. You start the game, right? Alonso's a nice 2-run home run. You're up 2-0. You're thinking, you know what, dude? Peterson has got no pressure on him. Maybe a little less pressure, I should say.
Be fine.
Totally fine. I don't know if he needs like glasses or something because he could not find the strike zone.
Maybe he does.
I think he threw one good pitch that was a backdoor slider that was real nice for a strikeout in the second inning. But other than that, dude, he had absolute nothing. He gave up so many. I think he gave up 4 hits in the second inning, gave up 3 runs. So, you take a 2-0 lead. Now you're down 3-2 by the second inning. And just in a very weird decision from Rojas, he kept him in for the third. I do not know why, because he did not look good at all. Granted, I mean, he got out of the second inning, I think, with a strikeout. But it's like, why? I think he had like 55 pitches by the third inning. Just get him out, dude.
Right.
I mean, granted, it ended up not really matter. It didn't really matter because Gesellman came in and he also shit the bed, which, I mean, Gesellman has been really good this season, surprisingly really good. I mean, he has, I think, 50% of the balls hit to him were ground outs, So, I mean, he's a very, like, low contact pitcher this season, but I mean, we talked about the Orioles yesterday and how good their lineup could be if they're all firing, on all cylinders, and they were last night. I mean, you saw Mullins and Mancini and Santander. Like,
it just sucks, though.
It does suck, dude.
You needed this win because tonight you're not going to get it from Harvey.
Oh, please, dude. Don't. No.
No,
We'll get
Harvey's
to
getting
tonight's
his
game.
revenge.
No.
Yeah, we're gonna have a nice segment on that.
we'll get to tonight's game.
Let's just wrap up last night first. Before
Yeah,
we do that.
quick, like because
No,
they
we don't.
suck. I'm joking. I'm just joking, Tony.
Give Tony his due. Come on,
Come on,
We've
man.
been cutting him off a lot the last.
I know, we have.
Literally had time all week, dude. Anyway, and then I mean, just think about what it does to the mentality of the team when you're up 2-0, then you're down 3-2, and then your reliever comes in, Gesellman comes in, and he's letting up home runs. I mean, as someone who's at the plate, it's in your head, man. Like, we got to get back, we got to get these hits, and you saw it because after the fourth inning, I mean, the Mets were swinging at everything, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They were looking just to get on base to kind of alleviate the damage that was done, and because of that, yeah, they were just striking out. It was not a pretty game, especially against a team like the Orioles. I mean, Alonso was obviously good. He went 2 for 4, 2 home runs, which was great. But the rest of the team, like you mentioned, was 2 for 26 at the plate. They had 9 strikeouts, and that's exactly what I was talking about.
Did they send Lindor up to the plate every time? Is that what happened?
Oh, you know what, dude? Lindor's been doing really well. Okay, bro. He's batting 215 right now. How about that, dude?
Wow. I mean, that's what $300 million will get you.
345. Come on. Well, anyway, so yeah, dude, it's just a really tough loss. It really pissed me off, but it doesn't matter because tonight, dude, we're gonna clean it up.
We got a 7:05 game, SNY, Walker versus the Dark Knight. And before you say anything, Tony, just a simple question: do you think Harvey gets hammered tonight?
I don't think he's going to get as hammered as last time because I would imagine, his nerves are a little bit more calm,
Are they in Baltimore?
They are
in Baltimore, so not at Citi Field, and he's played the Mets, obviously, we know, once already this season.
Here we go, baby.
But, I mean, I think in the last outing, right, he was hit for 7 runs against him at Citi Field. 7. And in his past 5 starts, he has a 13 ERA in his past 5 starts.
This is quite the run. I'm just looking at this. So before last start, which he only went 3 innings, he had given up at least 5 earned runs and not gone 5 innings. His last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts.
Jesus.
What do you know that, Mike? What do you say now, dude?
I mean, talk about getting hammered.
Literally getting hammered out there.
When that started, his ERA was 3.6, and now it's 6.62. I mean, give me some type of response there.
I think no response sometimes is a good response.
It says it for itself, bro.
But law of averages, the only thing, I mean, Mike, speak to it. I mean, we see this in basketball when a guy goes over 30.
Yeah.
What happens the next shot?
They get hot.
Yeah. So
Got to go in sometime.
You're expecting 6 scoreless tonight?
6 scoreless, 10 Ks, looking at Alonso as he strikes him out in his eyes and saying,
and then possibly 2 golden sombreros in the Mets lineup tonight somewhere.
That's ridiculous, guys. This sucks. I think Dom Smith goes yard 2nd inning. And if McCann starts, he probably will start. He goes yard at some point.
Yard.
Lindor 2 for 4. Think about that. Mets win, I don't know,
4-2.
say 5-2.
Sounds fair.
5-2. So
5-2.
fairly confident bounce back.
I'm very confident in this bounce back. Yeah, dude. I mean, they're going to be pissed, dude. Come on. And, you have Walker out there. He's been doing pretty well,
When's the ground pitching?
I don't know.
Not for a while?
No.
Next
I mean,
series.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think first game next
Who
series.
do they play next series? Do you know?
I do not know, actually.
Because is it another off day on?
Yeah, I know that.
You guys don't ever play.
No, literally though.
I know. It's brutal. We have the Padres again.
A weekend series at home.
Let's go, dude. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, it is what
hopefully
I
you don't
want,
get
bro.
swept by the Orioles, and then you don't go in there clunking in against the Padres, and then it's a 2 sweeps back to back, and you're like Barnes over there.
Nah, it won't ever happen, dude.
kind of a random thought here, and they've kind of toyed around with this. What's your thought on increasing non-divisional play, or do you like the whole 19? Is it 19 games versus? I mean, would you rather like that you could play 3 series versus non-divisional teams, or you like the format the way it is as far as the schedule is concerned?
No, I think more play against teams outside of your division is good. I mean, actually, I don't know. That's tough, dude. So it definitely makes it a little more interesting when when it comes time for the playoffs, or the postseason, because it's more about like how this team hasn't seen whatever other team a lot, and they have to really kind of break down the strategy and figure out how to approach those games. So actually, I'm gonna say I like the way it is.
Yeah. Because the only thing, I mean, just kind of a fair median here, so let's say there's 19 games, you reduce that to 16, you get 12 additional games, and you could either do 4 series or 6 series if you did 2 games, and then you'd really get additional exposure. Because it's just funny, like with the Padres, you just played them, you're gonna play again, done.
And
maybe we'll play them in the postseason.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I don't know, dude.
Division games are nice.
Yeah, division games are nice. I like it.
Well, when you can win them, they're nice.
Yeah.
Like when you're getting swept by the Red Sox, and it's not as nice. But hey, you gotta work with what you have, honestly. And it's kind of funny. Do you think it's possible? Like, let's say Harvey does get hammered tonight. I mean, do you think it's possible they just cut him? Because the whole reason they signed him was to trade him, and if you have a 6 ERA, you're not gonna be able to trade him.
I say they give him some more time, especially with a team like the Orioles. I mean, like, what more are they gonna have to lose?
Maybe to the deadline, just in case.
Yeah, and like, who are they gonna put in for him, really?
And I don't understand it. And I think I mentioned him, and I think you know who I'm talking about. Their number 1 prospect, he was a former number 1 overall pick, Adley Rutschman. I think he was from Oregon State.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think he's in AAA. He's playing well. And they're like, at the very earliest end of the year next year, I guess service time. But it's like, especially because this group can hit at times. Why wouldn't you bring him up?
Yeah, again, like, what do you have to lose at that point? Like, just bring him up, get him some more.
And what is he? 24?
He's 23.
Okay, so it's like let's have him get a late start to his career,
right?
So
like,
we get less time with him. I will just never understand stuff like that, honestly.
You and me both, dude. I mean, there's got to be something we just don't know, I guess, at that point, because I feel like we talk about that so often, where these teams just kind of almost refuse to bring up a good prospect and get him some major league experience. I don't know.
And his name slips me. So basically, the Rays, they just brought up someone. His name starts with a T. I forgot what his actual name is, but he's like a defensive guy, was somewhat of a top prospect. They got him in a trade, but then their number 1 prospect, Wander Franco. He seems like he's playing well in the minors. The Rays at times, I mean, lately they've been a lot hotter with the bat, but struggle to score runs. It's just like, how do you not bring him up? But it definitely is service time, because they're not going to want to give him a new deal. So they want the amount of time that they have him. But it's just like, in a year where, I mean, if you won, 13 in a row or whatever it was, that makes it seem like you have a chance to possibly go to a World Series. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I don't know. There's like a lot of semantics when it comes to like the minor league and like we mentioned, service time and stuff like that, and teams not wanting to pay them extra or kind of redo or talk about their contract. It's I don't know. It's weird like that, dude.
I'd like to see a team kind of go against the grain with that. I mean, any chance? I mean, there isn't a candidate not right now in their organization, but just knowing the way kind of he portrays himself, could you see Cohen doing stuff like that and just saying we don't care about service time, because he makes that impression.
Oh, absolutely, he does.
Fans that it's the team first. He's not concerned about bottom line and just manipulation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially with the way the Mets have struggled with injuries too. If that even continues to happen and they need to do that, I feel like he wouldn't hesitate to pull the trigger.
Yeah. Because I mean, hey, that's the way to go. But honestly, all in all, I mean, we tried for it yesterday. We couldn't quite get it. Tonight has to be the night.
Tonight has to be the night, dude. 2 New York wins coming out of the baseball realm. What do you say, Mike? Stop flexing over there.
I'll tell you guys, I'm with you on this one. I think you guys are both going to come in here so happy you're going to be tickling each other.
And
I don't know about that one.
I know you.
I'm expecting another 8, honestly, up on the board. Dobnik's got a 6 ERA. Cole settling, getting a groove, a lot of run support. I mean, am I crazy?
You're not crazy at all, dude. I mean, I thought you were crazy yesterday, but
hey,
maybe you're a little crazy.
There's times where I'm worried about him.
But other than that, any other points? We got any fake boxing matches coming up, Mike, or what do we got?
Squaddly D says go Mets,
baby.
Is that Uncle Richie's burner?
There's no way he has a burner. No way, dude. Squaddly D.
No, that's a good name right there.
I like that, dude.
Is there a Joshua Fury set up for like a wild?
Well, first Deontay has to fight
Fury again.
Yeah, he's gonna
get smoked.
Smoked. It's coming in July, I want to say.
July,
I think
okay.
the end of July they're fighting in
Yep.
Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
And then after that, it's going to be like in the fall for Joshua and Fury.
What do you think Floyd's next venture is going to be?
You know what's funny you say that, dude?
Does he go for the brother?
I think he's just going to keep doing this for the next 10 years
Oh my god.
and just make
I don't know, dude.
so much money and
10
not
years
care.
though.
Dude, he's only going to be 56. What's his name? Just did a charity fight, Mike Tyson. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, but he was out of
No,
the
but
game
let's
for
see
a
that.
while though.
That's something
I'd
that would
rather-
actually be interesting.
I know.
Tyson Mayweather.
Yeah. Oh. I'd actually love to see Mayweather versus 50 Cent.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
You know, 50 Cent before he was a
They had
hip hop
beef.
artist. He was they do have somewhat beef, but you know why Floyd never fights him? Because 50 Cent actually has golden gloves. He was a boxer back in his day,
Wow.
Barnes. So if you want a celebrity to fight, I'd pick him.
I think 10 years is a little hopeful. I mean, does he really want to be doing it for 10 years?
Dude, he didn't do anything. He just Grasso. He said it right. He's the number one. He's a legal bank robber.
right.
Like
right.
he knows what he's not getting hurt.
But what?
Not yet. I mean,
just
dude.
don't get why does society play into
Because they're just fools. You know, I mean,
But is it kind of like the people who are running this? They know, okay, this is just a complete heist, but
Yeah.
we're gonna make money off of it
Yeah.
because the public is so stupid.
yeah, literally, actually, that's what it is. Yeah,
It really is a crying shame.
We should just
honestly.
start the boycott right
Wait,
here.
but
I saw-
No, go ahead.
I saw some note. I forgot this kid's name. He's a boxer, and he's just like, respect to Floyd or whatever for his career.
Mhm.
But he's like, what happened to the days where when you'd be a boxer, people knew you were going in for war. Like you're
Right.
going to war, like you're
Mhm.
going to fight someone, not to do a show. This isn't the WWE.
Yeah, and you know what? He ducked some top competition.
He did,
throughout his
yeah.
career.
Yeah,
And then
yes.
even in all of his fights, it's all just a little dance.
I
You know what I
know.
mean? He's not an aggressive. That's not a fighter. That's
No.
a dancer.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. I know.
So I always got riled just undefeated, all that.
Yeah.
But it's just a crying shame. Before we close out, and I really hope America improves on this. It's
America.
a shame that they would rather watch that type of fight than a baseball game.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is a shame.
No, it is.
Dude,
I mean,
it is
They don't know what they're missing out on.
embarrassing. Honestly, bro. I feel like people don't really take the chance to really sit down and watch baseball. I think Mike, prime example on that one.
Yeah, so,
I do. I
no.
do.
so all of our viewers learn from Mike's mistake here about not
Just
appreciating
sit down,
the game.
dude.
Give it a chance tonight.
Crack open a cold
8-10.
one.
Yeah.
You got the
Just
Yankees
chill, dude.
Twins. You got Garrett Cole. This is primetime television. Do not miss out on this. So I just want to let our audience know.
And before that,
What a promo, dude. Oh my God.
At 6, you could watch us.
that,
7.
that is
Seven,
true.
seven.
So
7 o'clock.
It's a perfect segment into.
Yes, get you prepared.
But that being said, I would like to thank, everyone for joining us. Thank you, on Optimum, on Frontier. Thank you to Soundview Media and all of our fans. Keep commenting, liking, subscribing. We will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the ball game.
Peace.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do.